Okay. So, just starting standing on our mats. Just give you a second to catch up. And then we're immediately going to just forward fold. Stay low in the forward fold. You can bend a bit in your knees. Hang the weight of your body over. Forward fold, we always want to try and get a stretch in our hamstrings. Okay, and then we're going to halfway lift. So we're going to lift our torso so that it's parallel with the ground. So our body's like halfway up. Try and keep your body like somewhat straight. And when you're in this position, you should also still be feeling the stretch in your hamstrings, but that might take some time to get used to, I don't know. Okay, then go back down to forward fold. And then slowly just roll up over the course of like 5 seconds. Back to standing. Okay, so we're gonna do some more forward folds, but what I want you to think of through all these forward folds is like the weight in both of your feet. So like imagine there's like this like thin wooden beam running down the center of your mat, and you're standing on like a serving tray, and like both feet are on either side of the beam. So if you put too much weight this way, the thing's gonna fly over. Same with the other way. So try and like be hyper focused on how much weight you have in either foot. And now we're gonna go very slowly, like over the course of 15 seconds, fold into our first forward fold, doing this. Just try and focus as much as you can on your feet and the weight in them. And you might notice at different points of the fold, you suddenly like dump a ton of weight in your left foot or your right foot. Now that you're paying attention to it, you might notice that. And then as you reach the bottom, we're gonna rise back up slowly again, doing the same thing, focusing on the feet. But once you're about halfway up, you're gonna start like sitting backwards. So your torso is still rising as you begin to sit backwards in this like standing seat. And then you're gonna finish rising up. And we're gonna go through a few rounds of this, just trying to make it like smoother. And I'm just gonna stop talking because it's the same thing the whole way through. And the thing you really wanna be focused on is, like I said, the balance of the weight in both your feet. So I'm gonna go ahead and start folding for the first time, second time. Okay. Okay, so we're just gonna finish our last one. So whenever you get back to standing, just stay there. Okay, now we are in standing. So just take a second to stand here, still focusing on your feet and the weight distributed in the two of them. Just standing in mountain pose. Then we're gonna fold down once again and go into a plank. So forward fold your way all the way down. Put your hands on the mat, walk them forward. You can walk your feet backwards if you need to. And then we're gonna be in a plank. And then from plank, we're gonna go into upward dog, which means you're gonna lower your belly to the ground, or your knees rather, lower your knees and your torso to the ground. You're gonna place the tops of your feet on the ground, so you're not on your toes anymore, you're on tops of your feet. And then you're going to press through your hands to push your torso up, also engaging your back muscles. And if you're able to, you can float like your knees above the ground, so it's just your hands and your feet on the ground. You can also like leave your knees and your torso on the ground. Okay, then we're gonna go to downward dog. And when we're in downward dog, we're gonna pedal our feet. So one at a time, you bend one knee and you straighten the opposite leg and you press through the straight leg. So I have my right leg straight, my right foot is flat on the ground and I'm pressing into the right foot. I'm gonna switch, left foot is flat, pressing my weight into that left foot. And just keep alternating between those. Okay, and then you're gonna stop. You're just gonna be in a downward dog. You're gonna lift your right leg up, keeping your left leg on the mat. So this is three-legged dog. Then you're gonna carry your right foot as far as you can up the mat to try and come into a lunge. And if you can't come all the way, you can just place that foot like halfway and then move it up. So now we're gonna be in a lunge with our right foot forward. Both our hands are on the mat around that right foot. And then just reposition the feet however you need to get comfortable. And then rise up into a lunge. Okay. Then we're going to rotate our back foot and come onto the heel. So we're standing now in a warrior one. So you want to twist your torso to the front. Twist your torso as much as you can to the front. And as you twist your torso, something is going to stop you from twisting further. And that thing that's stopping you should be a stretch in the inside of your left leg, which is the back leg. So you should be kind of pressing into that leg pretty firmly. And as you twist, that generates a stretch on the inside. And there's an important note here that we're gonna keep track of throughout this session, which is the way we stand on our foot. So the front foot, you want it to be such that if you're gonna press weight into that foot, that you can feel a lot of that weight going directly into the heel, like the center of your heel. So you don't want to be like on the side, you don't want to be like all on the toes. You want a lot of that weight to be going to the heels. And the front of the foot should also be making contact. And as you press that weight, try pressing weight into the front foot, you should be feeling contact in the big toe mound as well as the pinky toe mound. So like, yes, the toes themselves, but also like kind of the knuckles before the toes. And those are the three main contact points. And yeah, you don't want to be like all on the big toe side. You don't want to be all on the pinky toe side. And you don't want to be all front or back. So you want the heel and you want both of those front contact points as well. Now we're going to go into warrior two. So you rotate your body now to the left side of the mat. You can reposition your feet if you want. Then we're going to go back into a warrior one, and we're going to straighten the front leg, and then we're going to bend over the front leg. You can put your hands on your leg, or you can put your hands on the mat. And then you're going to walk your hands to the center of the mat. Your body's going to be facing the left side of your mat. And you're going to bring both your feet wide. And then with your feet wide, you're going to rise up to a wide mountain pose. And when you're in this pose, try and like squeeze your ass so that it's like kind of like pulling everything in. Okay, now we're gonna fold over once again. And we're gonna crawl our hands to a left lunge. So you can crawl to the back side of your mat where your left foot should be. I'm gonna do the opposite just because I wanna be facing the camera, so I'm gonna bring my left foot to the front. But you basically wanna be in a lunge with your left foot in front. And then you're gonna go back to plank, so you're gonna bring your foot backwards. And then you're going to raise your left foot for three-legged dog. And then bring that left foot forward into lunge. Okay, now you're gonna rise up again into high lunge with the left foot in the front. And even here, you can be thinking about the same thing with your foot. So like, how is that left foot making contact? And like, if you press weight into it, where does the weight go? Then we're gonna go to warrior one. Same thing, the heel and those two mounds. Try and press weight into that front foot and see how centered you can get it. Then we're going to come to warrior two. So your body is going to be to the right side, but your head is going to face the front. Okay. Then we're going to come down to the ground again, crawl around to the right side of the mat. So we're now having our feet wide and in a line with one another. And then you're going to rise up to a wide mountain pose and squeeze your butt. And then you're just going to heel toe your toes to the middle so that they're touching one another. I'll just rotate. You can rotate two if you want, you can face wherever you want. All right, but we're just standing now in a standard mountain pose. And now we're going to get into the balance stuff. So, we're going to slowly take weight out of the right foot and keep weight in the left foot. And as you do that, as you slowly transfer your weight to your left side, you want to try and be thinking about those contact points and keeping that weight as evenly distributed through your foot as possible. And so you're now going to come onto your right toes so that you're keeping as little weight as possible in your right foot as you can. And then if you're able to, you're going to raise that right foot slowly, and then you're going to lower it and put some weight in it. And then we're just going to keep repeating this. So now taking the weight out of the right foot, hovering it, and raising it. And then lowering it. And now, when we do the next one, I want you to like pinch your obliques. And I want you to try and see if you can activate oblique muscles. And as you're raising your foot, ideally you can keep them active the entire time on both sides. And then lower your foot. And the reason I want to cue that is because as you raise your foot, of course your center of gravity is going to be wonky, and you're going to want to like dip to the left side to keep your weight over your left foot. And your body can shift a bit. It's okay if your body shifts a bit. Of course, I mean, it has to. But you want to avoid just like being like all loose and wavy and having your muscles just like collapsing. So we're going to do this again, still on the left foot. So we're taking weight out of the right foot, lifting that right foot in the air. And just the more time you spend doing this kind of practice, I'm going to keep like lifting along my legs, so you just keep doing that too. But the more time you do this kind of practice, the better your muscles will get at coordinating. So they might all be doing loads of things right now, but over time, like they'll all just be like steady and like working together. Okay, so we're gonna do a few more. If your left foot is getting tired, just take a short break and then come back to it. Okay, 2 more. Last one. All right, now lower your right foot and just walk around a bit to try and work out those muscles. We're gonna go to the right side in a second. All right, so bring your feet together again. And then slowly take weight out of your left foot and put it into your right. Now your left toes are just barely touching. And then you're going to lift your left foot up. And then lower it. And then lift that left foot up. And now I'll just leave you to go at your own pace. Gonna do 3 more. Okay. Now we're going to do a forward fold. Place our hands on the ground, and then we're just going to be in this low squat all the way down, and then we're going to place our hands behind us so we can come onto our butts. And we're just gonna do a quick butt massage. So I like to come onto my elbows, but you might wanna be on your hands or whatever is comfy. And then I just roll side to side, trying to dig into my hips. So like where this big leg bone connects here in the hips is where we're trying to get into. All the muscle around that region. Okay, now we're gonna roll forward. So we're sitting up now, and we're gonna put our feet together. Put our feet together in cobbler's pose. And from here, we're going to massage our feet. All right, now we're going to cross our legs and roll forward over them, then just stand up. Okay, so we're gonna do another round of something similar. So you can just keep doing the same thing, but if you felt that you were stable with that, then we're gonna try and add another layer to it. So we're gonna stand on both our feet, catch our breath and focus. Again, like try and like feel out how your feet are making contact. Make little adjustments. Okay, now we're gonna put our weight in our left foot again, slowly taking weight out of the right foot, hovering the toes, lifting the foot off the ground. Like I said, you can do the same thing, or you could try grabbing your foot and placing it above the knee for tree pose. And when you do this, this one definitely takes a lot of practice to get, but you have to start somewhere. And the reason it's so hard is that your right foot is pushing into your left leg and your left leg is pushing back. And those two sides need to be pressing evenly to stay balanced. And the thing that's changed the most for me over the course of learning this is realizing that I need to be pressing actually like quite hard through the two legs. So it's not like a gentle resting, it's like they're both really pushing. Just hold it for a while, or fall out of it and keep coming back. Or you can just repeat the previous exercise. Okay, so we're gonna stop now. So take the foot off, slowly lower it, and then just walk out your feet a bit. So the next thing will just be same thing on the right side. So while we're here, try and just catch your breath again. Focus and reset. Now we're going to do the right side. Slowly taking weight out of the left foot, lifting it, and placing it. It helps to just pick a point straight in front of you and stare at that. And it's normal if the two sides are drastically different. I have a lot harder time balancing on my right side. It also just like feels different. Like I feel like the muscles are doing something slightly different on this side. So you can put your arms out like I am to help you. If you're better, you can keep them together in the center, but that's hard. Okay, now we're going to come out of this. Again, doing your best to maintain control. Lower that foot. Whew. And then we're going to come down and sit in a cobbler's pose again. And just massage our feet before we do one more round of balancing. Just because it's so easy for the feet to get like exhausted in these balancing poses, so it's good to take a small break between. All right. Come back to standing. And this final one's going to be a little different. So you're going to stand with your weight in both of your feet in a mountain pose. And the goal is basically going to be to do a halfway fold, which is like this, with all your weight in one foot. And again, we're going to be starting with our left foot. So for the first one, we're just going to hover our right foot like this. So try it like that, and if you're like losing your balance, you can just like adjust and like put a little bit of weight to catch yourself. So for our first one, let's just do that. Take a bit of weight out of your right foot, hover it a little bit, and just fold over, keeping your left leg straight as we get to the halfway point, which is our stopping point. And if you're able to, lift the right foot off the ground just to test that out. And then place the right foot back and come back to standing. So we're going to do that again. We're going to put our weight in our left foot, fold forward, keeping the left leg relatively straight. Almost all of our weight in that left leg. Hover the foot off the right foot off the ground if you can. And this time, see if you can pick it up and lift it behind you at all. So if possible, you'll have it straight out behind you, so your whole torso and leg are in a straight line, torso and right leg. It's okay if you have a lot of bend in that right leg as well. And then you're going to bring it back to mountain pose. So if you couldn't tell like what I was saying, you can just watch me for a sec to see. So if you can, you want to like get to this point. But if that's challenging, then you'll just like be doing something like this. See? Okay. So we'll do one more on this side. In a few seconds, just catch your breath, try and reset a little bit. Okay, so placing your weight in your left foot, folding over to that halfway fold and hovering your right leg, kicking it behind you if you can. Hold this for a few seconds. And then bring it back. And of course, it's fine if you're like constantly like resetting and, you know, doing your thing. It's all good. All right, we're gonna chill here for a second. Now we're gonna do the same thing on the right side. Folding over, taking the weight out of the left foot, hovering the left foot, and lifting it behind. And then we're gonna come back to a mountain. Okay, we're gonna try that again. Taking the weight out of the left foot, folding over halfway. Lifting the leg if you can behind you. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Then you bring it back to mountain. Just breathe here for a moment. And we'll do a final one of these. Folding over, taking the weight out of the left foot, and lifting it behind us. A few more seconds. And then bring it back to mountain. Then we're going to forward fold down, place our hands on the mat, walk the feet back to plank, and then up to downward dog. And we're just going to pedal through our feet. And as you're pedaling through your feet, let's return to this idea of the contact points in our feet. So you want to roll over the first two, which will be the big toe mound and the little toe mound. And as you roll over those, then the heel is going to make contact. And you want to press, once your heel's making contact, you want to press weight into that back foot and feel it in all those contact points. So keep pedaling a few more times. And then return to plank and lower your chest all the way down so you're lying on your stomach. Then we're going to come up into baby cobra using our back muscles to lift our chest and our head a little bit. Then lower that. And just bring your legs to one side. And then come around to sit in a cross-legged seat. Try and sit tall. And that concludes the balancing practice. So hopefully that was not too frustrating. Balancing is one of the hardest aspects of yoga to get into. But it's good to dip your toes early on and get a feel for it. And I think just as you do more in general, like kind of everything you learn about yoga will contribute to your ability to do balancing stuff. So next time we do it, I bet you'll notice a change. You guys have any questions or anything? Any questions? What have we got? Hello. Oh, it felt good, nice. Are you supposed to claw with your feet? No, but that's normal. But like as you, it's basically like, it's kind of like a panic reaction because so much of your weight is shifting that you like have to like kind of like hold on to things. But like eventually like everything will be like more even and consistent. And then the clawing with the feet will not happen as much. Oh yeah, it's a flexibility thing. I should have said like you just try and push your heels back if they can't reach because that's pretty normal. I think like most people can't when they start. If you can move forward to make them reach, that's fine. I think that's like a comfort thing. If you find it like more comfortable to keep your feet farther back and have your heel off the ground, you can do that. Or if you want to walk your feet forward so that your heel can touch, you can do that too. Either of those is fine. But you want to be at like the limit. So like if you're moving your feet forward, like move them forward just enough, so that over time you're like pushing that limit and you'll be able to move your feet farther back. Nice. All right, well, thanks for joining, guys. I'm gonna head out.